So that's the original meaning of the rainbow. I'm just, wow. Okay. Hi everyone, welcome to Learning God's Guidance 5, 6, 7, 8 with Audrey here. Today we're on Genesis chapter 9 and 10. Are you ready? Let's dive in. Okay, so again, I took my notes here that I'm going to go off of, and I'm just going to read it off of, I'm using the ESV version, by the way. Okay, so let's go. Genesis chapter 9. And God blessed Noah and his sons and said to them, be fruitful and multiply and fill the earth. The fear of you and the dread of you shall be upon every beast of the earth and upon every bird of the heavens, upon everything that creeps on the ground and all the fish of the sea. Into your hand they are delivered. Every moving thing that lives shall be food for you. And as I gave you the green plants, I give you everything. Okay. Let's stop there for a second. So I wrote some notes. Literally, when he says, because now Noah's out of the ark, right? And he's going to, he gave his gratitude, he gave his offering, and now God's telling him what to do. Go be fruitful and multiply and fill the earth. So in other words, take up space. Like, you are worthy. You being here, like, take up space. Us as mankind, like, create, multiply, right? Do your thing. And then, yeah, like, and then he goes on here when he's talking about the fear of you and the dread of you shall be upon every beast of the earth and upon every bird of the heavens, upon everything that creeps on the ground and all the fish of the sea. Into your hand they are delivered. So, like, you have authority. Like, us as humans have this authority over every species, every living thing on this earth. We have authority, and we're supposed to take up space and multiply and be fruitful. Right? Okay, continue. Every moving thing that lives shall be food for you, and as I gave you the green plants, I give you everything. So in the beginning, when I was reading, I think it was Genesis chapter 1, earlier, okay, I had that thought of, like, when he gives us the plants, right? On I believe it's day 3, God said, let the earth sprout forth vegetation, plants yielding seed, and fruit trees bearing fruit, and which is their seed, each according to its kind on the earth. So he gives us the trees to eat off of, right? With the fruit. And I had the thought, like, I wonder about me eating then. And then I just kind of, like, left it at that. And so now he's saying, this has answered, just later, you just got to keep reading. Anyway. Every moving thing that lives shall be food for you, right? So, and as I give you the green plants, I give you everything. So you have the green plants and you have the living creatures for food. But you shall not eat flesh with its life, that is its blood. Yeah. And for your lifeblood, I will require a reckoning. From every beast, I will require it, and from man. From his fellow man, I will require a reckoning for the life of man. Whoever sheds the blood of man, by man shall his blood be shed. For God made man in his own image. So, not gonna lie here, guys, I had to read this, like, over and over to comprehend my thoughts on it and what it kind of, I feel like he's pretty much saying, and that's just the word choice, your lifeblood, I will require a reckoning. I'm like, what does that really mean, right? And so, of course, I asked Alexa, because she gives fast definitions, and she probably thinks I'm talking to her now, but I will require a reckoning. Basically, you'll be responsible for your actions. You'll be held accountable, right? So, and for your lifeblood, I will require a reckoning. From every beast, I will require it, and from man. From his fellow man, I will require a reckoning for the life of man. So whoever sheds the blood of man, by man shall his blood be shed. So then this kind of had me tinkering around in my mind about the previous chapter where I was talking about, I think it was chapter 3. I could be wrong what day it was. Don't quote me, but go back and watch it and you'll see how I was talking about wars and, like, the death penalty and like my views on that, right? So this kind of brought that up again, because whoever sheds the blood of man, by man shall his blood be shed. So basically eye for an eye. That's kind of how I see that. Like if you shed someone else's blood, your own blood will be shed, right? So in other words, don't kill people. Don't, if you don't want to be killed, kind of thing. That's what I take from it. But then I also see here, for God made man in his own image. You could also look at it as when you kill somebody, you're literally killing yourself, because we're all connected and one, right? So I thought that quote there could be taken so many different ways, figuratively and literally, right? And so that was kind of my take on that, and had me thinking like, wow. Anyway, okay, moving on. And you be fruitful and multiply, increase greatly on the earth and multiply in it. The amount of times Genesis is saying be fruitful and multiply, it's just like, you know, he's really driving the point home, people. Here comes my son. All right, continue. Then God said to Noah and to his sons with him, behold, I establish my covenant with you and, hi buddy. I establish my covenant with you and your offspring after you, and with every living creature that is with you, the birds, the livestock, and every beast of the earth with you, as many as came out of the ark. It is for every beast of the earth. I establish my covenant with you that never again, so he's made it very clear, this is for everything and everybody, right? Every living thing. I will establish with you that never again shall all flesh be cut off by the waters of the flood, and never again shall there be a flood to destroy the earth. So not like he won't cut off man with a flood or the earth, right? So both of us, all of us and the earth, everything. And God said, this is the sign of the covenant that I make between me and you and every living creature that is with you for all future generations, forever, for all future generations, not some, for all of them. I have set my bow in the cloud, and it shall be a sign of the covenant between me and the earth. Okay, so he's putting his rainbow in the cloud, right? And this is the sign. When you see this, it's a reminder of the covenant that he's made between God and all of us, between me and the earth. When I bring clouds over the earth and the bow is seen in the clouds, I will remember my covenant that is between me and you and every little creature of all flesh, and the waters shall never again become a flood to destroy all flesh. When the bow is in the clouds, I will see it and remember the everlasting covenant between God and every living creature of all flesh that is on the earth. God said to Noah, this is the sign of the covenant that I have established between me and all flesh that is on the earth. How many rainbows do we see throughout our entire lifetime of God just reminding us of, you know, hey, I'm never going to do that again. And that's your reminder, right? That, you know, it won't be in a flood version. If he ends up doing something again, it will not be through the whole water or the whole earth being flooded. And this was honestly like, so I had read this in the past before, because in one of my Bible studies, something came up about the rainbow. And I realized, because again, I'm a new believer, and I never knew what the true meaning of a rainbow was. Like my whole life, I never heard this definition until after 2022. Like, and so I was like, I had asked him, like, what does it mean? And then someone told me, and then I read this before I started doing this Bible study from beginning to end. But so this isn't like the first time I'd ever read this part, but just in general, in the last year and a half, this has been the first time I'd ever heard of what the rainbow, what it originally stood for. I had always heard of it as a young kid for, you know, what man has made it stand for with pride and all that. That was the version that I knew about the rainbow, and the only version I knew about the rainbow. And so that was, and I always was, well, anyway, different topic. But that just like, oh, like that's even something as simple as that is also stated in the Bible. Like, it's not, I should say that lightly, simple as that. Like, this is a huge reminder of the covenant that he gave to Noah, to let him know, to let us know, for all generations to know of this promise that he made with us, right? Is to look up in the sky and see all the colors of the reflection of the light and the sun. It happens to happen right after rain, right? When you see the rainbow in the clouds, like when you that's when it comes. It's like, oh yeah, it rained, but I will never flood the earth again. Like, I just find it such a cool way for God to remind us of what took place and how it won't ever take place again like that. And that how many rainbows do we see in our life? Like, just a constant reminder of, keeping his word. So anyways, okay. Let's continue, shall we? Okay, we are moving on. Wait, no, Noah's descendants. Here we go. So we're still on chapter 9. The sons of Noah who sent forth from the ark were Shem, Ham, and Japheth. Someone comment below. Let me know if I'm saying that right. Where am I? Okay. Ham was the father of Canaan. Guys, I'm butchering all the names. My bad. These three were the sons of Noah. Excuse me. And from these, the people of the whole earth were dispersed. Okay, so Noah has these three sons, and these three sons go and populate the earth. Noah began to be a man of the soil, and he planted a vineyard. He drank of the wine and became drunk and lay uncovered in his tent. He had a little too much to drink. And Ham, the father of Canaan, saw the nakedness of his father and told his two brothers outside. Then Shem and Japheth took a garment, laid it on both their shoulders, and walked backwards and covered the nakedness of their father. Their faces were turned backward, and they did not see their father's nakedness. When Noah awoke from his wine and knew what his youngest son had done to him, he said, "Cursed be Canaan. A servant of servants shall be to his brothers." He also said, "Blessed be the Lord, the God of Shem, and let Canaan be his servant. May God enlarge Japheth and let him dwell in the tents of Shem, and let Canaan be his servant." After the flood, Noah lived 350 years. All the days of Noah were 950 years, and then he died. Okay, so this story of what happened with Noah, first of all, he got too drunk and from his own wine, right? And there he is laying naked. And then here comes Ham. He saw the nakedness. But initially, so here when it says, when Noah awoke from his wine, he knew what his youngest son had done to him. So he must not have been that drunk, if you can remember. It's not like fully blocked out, right? But he knew enough. Like, he knew that his son had come in. And so that kind of goes to show too just how much your subconscious mind is never sleeping. Just a side note there. When Noah woke from his wine and knew what his youngest son had done to him, he said, "Cursed be Canaan." So part of me thought, well, like, I couldn't help but think, like, what did he do more? I mean, maybe they don't tell us. Like, did something happen on top of him just seeing him naked? Because that's a pretty intense, like, you're cursed and now you're going to serve both your brothers. And I had the thought, like, okay, so what went wrong here for him to curse it? What if Canaan, my initial thought is, what if Canaan just really needed help on what to do? Like, hey, our dad's in there and he's naked, what should we do? And maybe I don't know if he's the younger brother or the old, doesn't matter, younger, middle, whatever. But maybe he just didn't know what to do and he wanted help from his siblings to, like, help him with the situation. And so he goes to ask advice, and his brothers come in and do the right thing. Like, oh, well, we're not gonna look, we're gonna cover him, right? And so I had this, like, my heart kind of went out to him. I'm like, what if he just genuinely didn't know what to do and he was seeking help? And his dad is like, how dare you even tell anybody, right? Like, you shouldn't have even done that. Like, you should have just handled it on your own. And then that had me thinking even deeper of, like, yeah, when you know something's wrong, right? You see your dad laying there naked and that never happens. You sleep with covers on and he's drunk and he's not in his right mind. Like, you always do the right thing. So that just had me thinking about, like, just in life in general, when you're alone in a situation, but you know you have that moral compass of, like, he knew it was wrong enough to, like, hey, I gotta go ask for help, like, something was off, right? So, like, and the curse that he gave him had me thinking of that, like just how often do we like not listen to the we know this is wrong, I should do something. Instead, we always try to seek advice for other people, or maybe that like gossip happens, or this and that, when it's like deep down in your heart the right thing, what the right thing is, right? And are you gonna act on it? Are you gonna just help your dad out right then and there, and not even expose him to like the embarrassment of telling his brothers, hey, guess what, I saw dad naked in there, gossiping, right? Like, especially if he's not even in his right mind, you wouldn't want that done to you. You would just want someone to help you. So it had me thinking about just that fine detail of why he would have such a harsh punishment, and just made me think about all the things in life of that when we're in a situation alone and we know something is right or wrong, and how often we try to seek outside counsel instead of listening to like the God within us telling us, we know this is wrong, do something, act on it, help right then and there. You don't always have to seek outside advice for something you already know, right? Anyway, that's what I took from that story. And yeah, it doesn't really say that he had done anything other than that, which you could look at that as being something small. Again, back to the size of things that we were talking about in a previous video, right? We put what's small, like humans put that perspective on situations like, do you get what I'm saying? Anyway, I could go on another rant about that, but that's kind of how I took that whole story. Yeah, for reading it like that for the first time. Let's see what else. So I guess in other words, don't doubt what you know is right or wrong, and if you know something's right and you should be of service to help others, then just do what you have to do to help somebody. Anyway, that's kind of what I took from it. What did you take from it? Let me know below. Okay, moving on to, we are gonna move on to chapter 10, because here, chapter 10, I'm not gonna read it because this is the nations descended from Noah. So I'm not gonna read all of this because there are like a whole list of names that I will just butcher left and right. But these are the generations of the sons of Noah, Shem, Ham, and Japheth. Sons were born to them after the flood. So it basically goes through and lists the sons of Japheth, Gomer, Magog, Madai. He lists all these people, right? From these, the coastland people spread in their lands, each with their own language by their clans and their nations. The sons of Ham, then Cush, Egypt, Put, and Canaan. The sons of Cush, Seba, Havilah, Sabbath, Ramah, Sabta. See, I'm just, sorry guys, butchering it. So it goes through all the lineage. But when it gets to Cush fathered Nimrod, he was the first on earth to be a mighty man. He was a mighty hunter before the Lord. Therefore, it is said, like Nimrod, a mighty hunter before the Lord. The beginning of his kingdom was Babel, Erech, Akkad, in the land of Shinar. From that land, he went into Assyria and built Nineveh, these terms, you guys, I'm sorry. And Rezin between Nineveh and Kala, that is a great city. Okay. Egypt fathered Ludim, and all the more names, from whom the Philistines came, and Caphtorim. Canaan fathered Sidon, his firstborn, and Heth, and that goes down. Okay. Afterward, the clans of the Canaanites dispersed, and the territory of the Canaanites extended from Sidon into the direction of Gerar as far as Gaza, and in the direction of Sodom, Gomorrah, Admah, and Zeboim as far as Lasha. These are the sons of Ham by their clans, their languages, their lands, and their nations. So he's just basically establishing where everybody went, their sons' names, where they all dispersed to, and their nations. To Shem also, the father of all the children of Eber, the elder brother of Japheth, children were born. Continue down, more names. To Eber were born 2 sons. The name of one was Peleg, for in his days the earth was divided, and his brother's name was Joktan. So when I read that part, I thought, the earth was divided in what way? Like the people weren't getting along, or it was just simple. They were divided, like this nation was now this nation and this was now this nation. It doesn't necessarily mean that they were at war with each other or anything. They were just in their separate locations in their nations, right? The territory in which they lived extended from Mesha into the direction of Sephar to the hill country of the east. These are the sons of Shem by their clans, their languages, their lands, and their nations. Yeah, so these are the clans of the sons of Noah according to their genealogies in their nations, and from these the nations spread abroad on the earth after the flood. So yeah, chapter 10 just basically gives us all the names, where they ended up, and as they established their nations, and that was pretty much it. So yeah, that's all I got for chapter 10, just the kind of matter of fact of like these people, where they ended up, and that's it. So that's Genesis chapter 9 and 10. Let me know below, what are your thoughts? I will be moving on to 11, but guys, the story of his dad, right, who, oh gosh, see, I gotta remember names. It's Canaan, right? Or who is it? Yeah, Canaan. What did Canaan do? He told his brothers. He should have. That whole situation, the rainbow, like the meaning of the rainbow, and then, you know, us having authority.
No, Daddy.
Yeah, he's coming. Oh my gosh. Yeah. Us having authority and dominion over every little thing, to take up space, multiply. You are worthy. We come from all of those descendants, right? So he wanted us to multiply. He wanted us to have dominion. He wanted us to be fruitful. It's just, yeah, it's amazing. Okay, that's it, guys. Make sure you subscribe if you're not subscribed already, so you get notified for every video that I post. And if you want to see how I'm memorizing the scripture through the power of dance, go watch those videos. My testimony is also uncovered, like the actual, I filmed the whole like process of my testimony. That's on here too. I will record another one explaining what happened before then, but yeah, anywho, give it a like, share, and I'll see you guys in the next video. All right, peace out. Bye.